Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's good to be upright and breathing. I've been out of the loop for a while with the Wuhan pneumonia for about a month, but I'm on the mend. Now I can get back to some videos. Today is going to be a fun video for you because I'm going to show you how to put Need-Moor into the Creedmoor. So hang on folks, let's get to shooting. It seems like the mood by the long-range community and those people who are kind of driving the ballistics industry these days is a heavier, longer, sleeker, high BC bullet, which obviously gives you more recoil. The heavier the bullet, the more recoil impulse. Well, I've kind of gone the other way, and the reason why is because I can read, and I can read numbers, and I know the effect on game over 55 years worth of that kind of practice. So today I'm going to show you what would happen with the 6.5 Creedmoor if you go away from its traditional recommended bullet of the 140 class to the 147 grain class bullet at around 2,700 feet per second. And if you simply drop down to a 120 grain hunting bullet, the BC is not that much difference, but I can add as much as 150 feet per second to the velocity, which translates into an exactly identical and equal foot-pounds of energy on target at 500 yards. So I'm going to be working up some loads, so follow along on this progress. Don't know too much about how these are going to turn out, but I hope to get to 2,900 feet per second by working up slowly. I'm using two sets of powders, Hodgson Superformance with 120 grain gold dot, and good old-fashioned H4350 also with 120 grain gold dot. So the target's set up at 100 yards. Let's get to shooting. If my voice cracks in and out, well, that'll probably be a good thing. You won't have to listen to me. So let's get to shooting. Okay, you know the drill. The target's set up at 100 yards. My first shot will be with 140 grain gold dot to get a baseline of the feet per second, and then shoot 3 strings of 3, stopping in between each one to record the data, let the barrel cool, and work up from there. So here we go with the first shot. It'll be the lower target on the left. All right, here we go. Okay, that was 27.22, so that's a good baseline for the 140 grain. So now let's get started with the 120 grain. This will be 46 grains of Hodgson Superformance. Alright, it'll be the target just above it. I'm already at 28.94 folks. Haven't even got started yet. So let's take a look at this case, because I might have to stop right there. My objective was to get to 2,900 feet per second. Primer looks good. Case looks good. Let's move on. 2906. Case looks good. That looks like an excellent group. Okay, that was 2916. Okay, so let me let the barrel cool, and I feel confident enough that we can move up. But I'm already to 2900, which was my objective, and I've got 2 more 3 shots of 3 with this powder. So hang on, folks. It looks like I've been able to turn the Creedmoor into a kind of a Magnum with that 2900 feet per second. That's 170 feet per second faster. I'm going to show you the ballistic charge numbers after I'm done shooting. Okay, so here's the next 2 strings of 3 in succession. I'll give you the numbers after the first 3. All right. It'll be the upper target on the left, but to the right side of the paper. $29.66. Woo! I'm pleased. Everything looks good. Not too much worried about that shot placement right now because it is a different powder load and a different bullet. $29.60. $29.77. Okay, let me go reset the target camera, analyze these numbers, be right back. Okay, this will be the last 3 of the super performance. I couldn't be more pleased. I think you saw the groups down there. I can work on that a little bit, but the Creedmoor is no longer a Need-Moor. Just by going from 140 grain down to 120 grain bullet, I was able to pick up 150 feet per second of speed. The accuracy stayed about the same, and as I'll show you at the end on the ballistic charts, absolutely no difference. Actually, the 120 grain will outperform the 140 grain in terms of shooting flatter. But the energy, the downrange energy that a hunter looks for, the terminal energy, is exactly the same or real close at 500 yards. Okay, here goes the next 3. It'll be the target on the left, lower right. Last 3. Hope the target cam's on. Okay, that gave me an error. Probably because right there, I didn't check that. Alright, so let's just disregard that shot. There was a little bit more kick on that, by the way. Alright, let's see what happens now. 3018. How about that? The Creedmoor is not a Need-Moor, it's now a Magnum. Case looks great. Alright, last shot was Superformance. This might be the powder for me because fortunately I have 2 pounds of this stuff. It works well in my 243 and my 30-06, but I don't use it that much, and I have some to obviously do load development. Okay, it looks like that group opened up a little bit, and that was at 3040. Okay, so let's switch over to the H4350. Alright, it's sort of universally accepted that the 6.5 Creedmoor, the powder of choice, is H4350. And I found that to be true, although I use other powders because they're more readily available, if you can find powders these days, but they are more readily available and give me comparable results. But this is H4350 with 120 grain gold dot. Here's the first 3 shots. Now, just so that you know, I never work up a load at the first initial firings to maximum. I evaluate as I go up, and then whether or not I can go beyond that is determined by 2 simple factors. Was my goal achieved? And it is my precision, my group size. Not necessarily the point of impact. I can work on that with the scope by adjusting that. But the precision isn't there. Low standard deviation, low extreme spread. So here's the first 3 with H4350. It'll be the target on the right. It'll be the upper left. Upper left. Okay, that's 2835. Primer looks good. Second shot. .2884, that's a pretty big jump there. And that group doesn't look too terribly impressive. Alright, here we go. .2908. Okay, so let me go reset the target. We'll move on. Okay, so this is the next 3. I'm going up only half a grain to 43 grains of H4350. I think you saw that group down there. That's not acceptable. That was well over an inch. But at least the speed objective of 2,900 feet per second was met. So let's see what happens with these next 3. It'll be the upper right. .2932. Primer's a little bit flattened, but the case looks okay. I'm using Winchester large rifle primers, and my experience with those is they are a little bit soft, so they do tend to flatten out, but they make up for it in horsepower over a standard primer. 2918. Everything looks okay. Third and final shot. Okay. 2917. All right. So let me go reset everything. Final 3 shots, and we'll move on. Okay, final 3 shots of H4350. I'm pretty excited about the results so far. I'm not too worried about the groups yet. I'm still just gathering data. So here's the last 3 at 43.5, which is still about a half a grain below their listed max. But we're getting there in terms of velocity and pressure, so it's always advisable to watch it. Okay, right hand target, lower left. $29.70. Objective met. That's almost 3,000 feet per second. Let's see if we can get a group. $29.68. All right, primer's fine, a little flat. Third and final shot. Looks to be a really good group. 29.90. Okay, well, let me gather this data and we'll get down and analyze the target. Okay, let's just get right to it. Here's the Superformance 120 grain gold dot. First 3, average 29.06, pretty good group. 29.67, a half a grain higher. That's a pretty good group as well. And then opened up quite a bit there on the top load, but I did hit 3,050, so that's every bit of an inch group there. Okay, then over here we have the H4350. First 3 shots, not a very good group, 28.75. Next, 29.35, pretty good group there, maybe 7/8 of an inch. And then the final one at 29.89 was obviously a real good group. The dime pretty much covers all 3. Okay, so let's go over these actual numbers that I was talking about, because here's the kind of stuff that I was really wanting you to focus on, which is how to magnumize your rifle by going to a lighter caliber bullet. On the left there, you can see that this is the 120 grain gold dot, a ballistic coefficient of 457. But look at this, folks. At 500 yards, I'm still well over 2,000 feet per second and 1149 as far as energy, foot-pounds of energy, with a drop of 48 inches at 500 yards. Okay, so let's go over to the 140 grain. 140 grain has a higher ballistic coefficient of 0.498, a speed of 2730. At 500 yards, it's 1996, so I'm slower than 120 at 500 yards. 1239 energy, a little bit higher on the energy, a 54-inch drop as opposed to the 48-inch drop with 120. So I hope this helped you, folks. You can reduce recoil, increase velocity, maintain the lethality down range, and have more fun. I hope you liked this content, folks. If you did, please leave me a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. But no matter what, God bless you all, and thanks for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.